Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tejano Keyboard. Thank you for joining me. Today, we're taking a little field trip to Wikipedia, and I just wanted to show you guys this. It's very important to know as far as our scales. For those of you who don't read music, that's fine. Just know that this is the A minor scale, as the one that we talked about in the previous video in reference to intervals and how to make the major and minor scales. Okay, this is explaining what I had already taught, okay, which is the A to the B. Here, let me pull up the keyboard for a second. There we go. Let's look at this right here. Okay, I'll pull up the keyboard again. Okay, it's going to be from A to B is a whole step, then a half step, whole step, and then there's another half right here, whole, and then whole. Okay, so that is what we call the natural minor scale. It's the one that's directly related to the major scale of C. No sharps, no flats. Okay, now the harmonic minor scale is a little bit different, and the only difference is that it has a major seventh. Okay, so for example, in the key of A, the seventh note would be G. Okay, and that G would be sharp, so it would be played like this, and it sounds like this. Okay, so move this out of the way so we can okay, I guess that's going to be about as good as it's going to get. So we're going to look here, okay, and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the seventh is going to have a sharp. Okay, so watch the keyboard, watch this, and you'll see what happens. Okay, here's your seventh. Okay, now it's very important that we take this theoretical process, everything that we're learning, and we learn it in all 12 keys. Okay, all 12 major and minor keys. So, but for now, this is just to guide you in the right direction. Okay, now the reason that we use harmonic minor scales is because, well, when we're playing chord progressions, okay, the primary chord would be A minor, and then your dominant chord, your segunda, right? Or as we're calling it now, your 5 chord, is going to be E. But E, when we're in the key of A, we want to actually have it be major so it can create more tension against this. Okay. Okay. Now the reason that we have this scale is because, as you can see in my dominant chord, the E major or dominant, has this note right here, which is a major third in it. And in order for it to fit along the scale, we need to raise this note here from the minor scale. Okay. Okay. So now when we're playing a line in a minor key, sometimes we utilize this so we're able to not create dissonance, because if we were to play just a regular E minor and the line goes, that doesn't sound right, because that interval is quite dissonant. It's a G and a G sharp together. So what we want to do is, okay, so some pretty basic stuff here in regards to the natural minor and the harmonic minor. Now, there's a different minor scale that we call the melodic minor. Now, there's a lot of arguments in regards to how this is played, but in classical music, it's actually two different scales, and I'll get to that in a second. In jazz, it's one scale. Okay, so allow me to explain. This diagram right here is actually showing you the jazz way, or no, excuse me, the classical way. Now, if you look right here, and we're still in the key of A minor, okay? In the key of A minor, we have no sharps, no flats because it's related to C, okay? Now, we had just mentioned before in the harmonic minor that it's still all, naturals, no sharps, no flats, except for the seventh degree. But as you can see here in the melodic minor scale, you have a sharp six too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sharp six, sharp seventh. Okay, so in the key of A, that would be F sharp and a G sharp. Okay, but if you notice on the way down, it gets turned back into the natural minor scale. That's returned back to a natural. That's returned back to a natural. So that's how we would use this scale if it was in a classical setting. Okay, so this is how it sounds in a classical setting. Excuse me. Okay, let me pull up the keyboard so you guys can see that again. That's the 6, 7, and then the octave, then back down natural. One more time. Okay. Now in jazz, we just play the scale the same way up and down. At least from what I've been told, and I might be wrong. Like I said, I don't claim to know everything, but just based on my experience, this is what I was taught. So in jazz, it would be like this. And we'll show some examples later on how that applies to, rancheras and cumbias and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you on the next episode.